Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Let's make it clear to you guys. I like uncomfortableness. Like, I like it. We gotta get through some uncomfortable times to get better as people. We're not going to get better as a society until we get through these uncomfortable times, which come from uncomfortable conversations. I'm not against that. Listen, I told you guys this would happen with Offset. I said, look, Offset is hella successful as is, but when you date someone that's in the public domain as much as Cardi B, yo, Cardi B is on another level type famous right now. And her boyfriend is Offset. Offset's dating one of the most popular chicks in the last 10 years, right? She's in that conversation. Her popularity is shot through the roof. She's got movies on the table. She's out of here. And though Offset has always represented the streets as a street rapper, representing the Migos, things are changing. When you come off an album like Culture, which was hella successful for the Migos, like the Migos ain't really just drop a lot of music. That's the first year ever that the Migos probably ain't dropped like 4 or 5 tapes, right? They didn't have to do it. Culture pretty much drove their tours and they could just do catalog for the whole 2017. Now they're dropping Culture 2 in a couple weeks. And Offset has to realize this, and I said this in previous videos, you're entering a different space. With the Migos' success, going into a more mainstream world, and dating Cardi B, that's standard. You just can't rap whatever you want to. And we know in rap, there has long been this type of homophobic terminology in regards to anyone that represents the lesbian, gay community, bisexual community. And listen, I'm a straight man. I have no problem saying I'm a straight man. I'm in a relationship, and I'm telling y'all right now, I am going to try to raise my kids to be straight. I'm just telling y'all, I just got to be honest with y'all. I got to be honest with the Ferros. I want my kid to be straight. Now, if that does not happen, I'll deal with that when I get there. But right now, I'm telling you, I'm a straight man, heterosexual relationship with my girl, and I want a straight kid. I want my kid to grow up and if I got a boy, I want to be able to teach him how to love a woman. That's what I want, though. That doesn't mean that I'm against gays. I just don't know enough. You know what I mean? I'm not homophobic at all. I'm not racist at all. None of that. People are people. I judge every person for their values and what they bring into the world. I don't try to get in that. But we know in rap, there's been, it's kind of cleaned up over the last 5 years just due to the amount of backlash and social media. But rappers have notoriously rapped against being you hear the word faggot used loosely in a lot of music, especially on diss records. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's out there. And Offset is entering that space where now that little record you do with Lucci that remains in the streets and in the streets of Georgia and the streets down south, it's going to loom. And if it's got some controversial in it, it'll hit the blogs now. That's where you're at with it, Offset. You're just that successful. You got to live with that. So Offset got a new record out with Lucci. And by the way, let me salute Offset. I really ain't been caring for the Migos verses. I really don't care for Offset verses in regards to the records that he put out with the Migos. I thought they've been kind of whack and watered down, to be honest with you guys. But what Offset has been doing outside of the Migos, he been putting out some pretty raw verses. I like the joint he did with No Plug. I like the joint he did with Gucci on Gucci's, what was that, the Drop Top WAP album in 2017. The Met Gala joint. I like that one a lot. And I like this verse right here on this new record that he got with Lucci. The record's entitled Boss Life. I like this one. So we're going to put on the screen the lyrics and tell you what Offset has gotten himself in a little bit of trouble over. He said, look, whole lot of gang in here. Northside niggas, no name in here. Pinky ring crystal clear. 100K spent on a private lyric. 60K solitaire. I cannot vibe with queers. I got the heart of a bear. Busting down them by the pair. All right, so let's read that line again. 60K solitaire. I cannot vibe with queers. All right, so here's what I want to do, because Offset did do this. He did have to comment about using the word queer. The LGBT community has added the letter Q, which stands for queer. So they've added that. So it's now the LGBTQ community. In respect to all those people that are a part of this team that's fighting for their rights, and nothing but love to them. And they've added Q to it. So queer, I thought queer was a term of negativity, but it looks like I don't know why we do this as people. We use all the terms with a negative connotation to them, like nigga, and we try to turn it and make it positive because of the oppressors calling us this. So Offset had to come out. Let's read the definition. Offset posted this of what queer means, and then we'll get back into what Offset had to say about this lines, because he's been called out in vlogs and all that have been saying, yo, you can't be saying stuff like this. Here we go. Queer means strange, odd. She had a queer feeling that they were being watched. All right, queer is like pretty much saying something is weird. Here's some synonyms for it: unusual, funny, peculiar, curious, bizarre, weird, uncanny, freakish, eerie, unnatural. So that is a definition of queer. I don't know how that is tied into the LGBT community. Maybe they look at it as like, we've been called weird so much, let's just roll with it and use that word as a term of endearment. Right? So Offset did address this whole thing, that all this negative backlash he received. And I haven't heard a lot about it, but I'm guessing it's on blogs that he received from that verse with Lucci. And he said this: I didn't write the line about gay people. I have said before, since these issues before, that I got love for all people. My passion for fashion has led me to a lot of gay people around me who I have mad respect for, and we are very cool. So I'm not in a place where I'm hating like that. When I wrote that, I was thinking of words that could rhyme with the others: here, leer, solitaire, beer. And I saw this definition about her having a queer feeling. She was being watched, and it fit what I was thinking about: a stalker, creepy paparazzi situation. To me, that queer, I don't mean someone who's gay. I mean lame people who film you, post it, and stalk you. Lingo that means strange and odd. I'm sorry. I apologize if I offended anyone. I'm sorry. Right? And again, like I said, he posted the definition of queer, and he did take the comments off that post. And I said that part to say, usually when people take the comments off of an Instagram post, means they don't want to see anything else come out of it. They don't want to further put themselves in that realm, because you know you're gonna get to a lot of comments, and it's kind of, sometimes you're afraid to see what people have to say about it. So that's worth noting. And again, to Offset, I'm gonna say this: I'm not gonna be too hard on the brother. Yo, if the definition of queer is changing in the terms, or there is a generation out there that's using it as a term of endearment, it definitely could throw somebody off. Like, if you didn't know that they just switched it out and using it as a term of endearment, it definitely could switch it up. So here, I don't want to compare gay to black people. I'm definitely not trying to do that. But we ain't gonna act like, if we claim that nigga is such a bad term for, or nigger with the ER is such a bad term for white America to use, we ain't gonna act like it's not contradictory for us to still use it. Now, it's still our say-so to say what we want to do with the word, but a lot of times I do be like, yo, we should just get rid of this word all together, all of it, because we turning something in a term of endearment. But our people fought to not be called this. Our people fought because they had no choice but to be called that. We got names. We're young black kings and queens. You know what I mean? All of us are kings and queens. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And sometimes I'll be like, yo, can we do away with this word, because it's confusing? Like, all these rappers using it in the raps, and you talking about an average white kid who's like, yo, I want to use the word, but I don't mean anything by it. Again, it's black people say so at the end, but I get how it could be confusing. And just kind of like with this word queer, if it has changed to just a term of endearment or celebration, we can't blame Offset for using it. If there's nothing out in the public domain, like we've not had enough forums, or at least in like a public announcement, yo, that this is officially a term of endearment, because the definition of it says strange or weird. It has nothing to do with anyone that's gay or bisexual or lesbian. That has nothing to do with that. And I don't think Offset should be judged for that. I think that's not right to him. That's not right to society. If he just didn't know, he just didn't know. He said he was using it because of a strange or crazy or lunatic type form. He wasn't using it to attack gays. Like I said earlier in the video, do rappers use homophobic terms in their raps, like faggot and other derogatory terms? Yes, they do. That is there. But I don't think Offset was doing that. And I do think this opens up a really good conversation that we do need to have as people. And I struggle with this. Like, though I'm not homophobic, I have nothing against the LGBT community. It is tough realizing or figuring out what is the right ways to rock in certain situations. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. If I get into an argument with a gay man, this is a real question, and I'm not even joking right now. If I get into it with an argument with a gay man who has woman-like tendencies, because he's a gay man and that's what he wants to do, if we get into an argument and it escalates, right? But I clearly see this man has feminine tendencies, do I fight him? You know what I mean? If we're going to go to that level, right? And this didn't happen to me. I'm just saying I had this conversation with somebody because I didn't know. Do you fight that person? Because isn't it like technically hitting a woman? Like, I'm really asking real questions because I just don't know. And we need to have these tough conversations to grow in society, because a lot of people out here are not against gay or not against anything. A lot of people are just for positivity or for progressiveness. You can't change how people feel about other people, but it's like, yo, what do we do? There's nobody like just really coming out and just saying, yo, this is like, nobody from the community like saying this is what we like, and we all can't get on the same page as well. So I think it's a very interesting conversation that I probably took a few minutes longer, but I'll take that because I think it's very interesting stuff. Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. Should he be criticized for that rap? Like, should he be critiqued and was it wrong? I personally don't believe that. I don't think the brother meant anything malicious that time in his heart. I just don't think he knew what the word had become and how it has kind of formed and developed over time. Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. I'm coming with a whole new format soon, y'all. I've been just grinding videos. I want to live out my dreams as a content creator, and I got so much good content in the bag. Y'all just gotta give me a little bit more time. It is coming. A lot of good content. Towards the next week, you'll be seeing a lot from me. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty.